Did you know the origins of playing cards is under a lot of speculation? There's different scenarios of where playing cards actually originated from. Some say China, 1400 AD. It made its way to India, Persia, to Egypt, until finally making its way to Europe. That's one scenario. Another scenario is, even though it started in China, a traveler finally made his way to Europe and came to people like, hey, let's try this new game I learned. Took out some cardboard and made playing cards. Old playing cards were actually even said and sold were made of wood, painted on. Old playing cards were made for the rich, emperors, wealthy people, not for ordinary people, until they became so popular and they became so cheap. Playing cards is something that we use every day, don't we, people? We use playing cards during family get-togethers, barbecues. Come up with our teammate, play a game of spades. Play pity pats for quarters. Play my favorite game, blackjack, at the local casino. What about poker? The World Series of Poker, where you have opportunities to create wealth. Wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Playing cards have all different purposes. We have different type of cards too, don't we? We have tarot cards, where a lot of my Christian audience, I know what you're going to say, I don't believe in psychics and psychic readings, but some of us do. Some of us go to tarot readings to find out our future. Are we going to find that husband that you've been longing for? What about that wife that you were unable to find? What about your business? Is it finally going to become that success that you've been hoping for and praying for? Or what about your ancestors, lost long loved ones who are now in the grave? Can you speak through them through a psychic? Tarot cards tell us all about our future, somewhat about our past, our current situation. Is your boyfriend, girlfriend cheating? Find out all kinds of information through tarot cards. And they kind of are similar when you think about it. Tarot cards, playing cards, a lot of similarities there, isn't it? You're probably saying no. No similarities at all. Playing cards are for fun, for gambling. We'll get to that in a second. But they're very similar when you think about it and you break it down. Let's talk about what's in that 54 card deck. You have the jokers. And if you take out the jokers, we narrow it down to 52 cards. In that 52 card deck, we have the king, we have the queen, we have the jack. Now, we don't have to go into the king and queen. We know what they are. We only have to get into the jack. We know the purpose of the jack is to not be confused with the king. As we know, there's only one king. Then we break it down to even the lower cards. Let's start with the heart. The heart. Yeah, we all know what the heart is, right? The one thing that we all hope to attain in a relationship. We all put our hearts out there, hoping that we get the same love back. Similar to a casino, when we go put our hard-earned money out there on a game of blackjack, a game of poker, hoping that we get some type of return. Often leaving home heartbroken. Same way when we put our heart out on a playing card. We put it out there. We hope that someone's going to return, give us their heart. Love us. Love our hearts. Appreciate it. Value it. Then we move on to the club. We know what a club is. In ancient times, a club was used as a clobber to level people. What do we use a club for? To protect our heart. To protect our heart, to clobber those who deceived us, who broke in our heart. Then we move on to that elusive diamond. A woman's best friend. Every woman that jumps in a relationship hopes that it doesn't end with happily ever after. It ends with finally getting that big diamond put on their finger after sharing the I do's. That leaves us with one card left, right? That one card. The one, it's a little confusing. What is it? A little misunderstood. Very abstract. At least that's how it seems. That wonderful spade. That wonderful spade. But what is a spade? What is a spade? Well, when you turn it upside down, what does it look like? Starts not being so abstract, does it? Looks like a black heart, representing the heart that was broken, turned cold, lost, never to be found, full of hurt. Isn't it interesting how playing cards depict so much of our lives, so much of who we are, so much who we strive for, who we want to be? Isn't it even more interesting that we play a different game? We build houses and castles with cards. Don't we do that? It takes precision, takes time, takes patience. It takes steadiness to build these houses. These fragile houses that we build. Would you live in a house of cards? Most of you like, no, I would not live in a house of cards. No, not at all. But many of us do. Every single day we do. We live in that house of cards. The house is made up of that heart that we hope to obtain. That club we use to protect us. That diamond we hope to get. We have the kings and queens and the jacks. And don't forget that elusive spade that always reminds us of heartbreak, cold, that black heart that's abstracted upside down. That's the house we live in. But many of us wouldn't want to live in the house of cards. Why? Because the slightest wind, the slightest blow will represent a hurricane, a tornado, knocking down that house of cards, demolishing all that we built, destroying it. So why would we want to live in something so fragile? Better question is, should we ask yourself, why do you? Because it's the same reason people gamble. Same reason people go into a casino, lay their week's pay, their mortgage payment, their electric bill on the line, on the table, with the hopes of doubling their money, with the hopes of coming up with financial freedom. Same reason we live in a house of cards. We hope the house built with our hopes and dreams, not realizing the same pain awaits us, same heartbreak. Then we think about the games we play, right? Think about games like poker. Poker, interesting game, right? Well, many games like blackjack, pity pat, are all games of hope. All games of faith. I mean, truthfully, you don't know what cards you're going to be dealt. You don't know, unless you're counting cards, which is cheating. You don't know what card you're going to be dealt. It's all by faith. You may get that deuce in pity pat. Or you might get that ace that represents a 1 or 11 in blackjack. However, in poker, it's not about the cards you were dealt. It's all about deception. It's all about bluffing someone. Not to tell the truth about what you have in your hand, but making the other opponents believe that you have a stronger hand than you truly do. We're talking a lot about cards here. The truth is, isn't that how life is? Very deceptive. Being deceptive. Hunting for the ring. Hunting for that heart. Dealing with the pain of spades. Keeping that club real close to us, in case we gotta clobber someone. Searching for our king or queen while living in a fragile house of cards. House of cards is so unstable, and we are so unstable. We are so unstable when we go into relationships, we go into situations, and we want things, and we search for that heart, and we're so willing to give and invest our heart into someone. Not understanding that we didn't truly protect our card. We didn't truly protect the value of what we have. We don't understand the true value of what we have. We go into relationships, fragile as that house of cards. We go in situations just as fragile. We often criticize gamblers, but don't realize we gamble with the same thing. We gamble with our lives. We gamble with our heart. We gamble with our families. We gamble with the chances of not getting a return on the investment. But what should we do, people? What should we do? Should we give up the games? Should we stop playing? Possibly. We should just stop playing. We should stop gambling with our heart. We should stop putting ourselves out there with the opportunity of finally getting that diamond. We should put the club down and stop fighting for love. Stop fighting for passion. Stop fighting for that happily ever after. We should stop living in a house of cards, but truthfully, we need to build a house that's more stable, or more of a stronger foundation. The reality is, the understanding is, that stronger house may not truly exist. It may not truly exist. And the house of cards that you've been living in is the only house that you'll ever have. But it makes you wonder. Gambling is a lot like faith, isn't it? You think about it. Faith is taking a step out there without seeing the whole staircase. Faith is stepping out there not knowing what's going to happen. Taking a chance. Understand that things are not in your control. And that you got to roll with the punches. You have to play with the cards that you were dealt. I see some of y'all looking at me like, I can't believe you're comparing gambling to faith. This is an entanglement. Jada Pinkett's not here right now, people. This is not an entanglement. This is reality. The point is, gambling with your heart is something we all have to do. But we also have to be protected. We have to be smart gamblers. See, casinos gamble every time. but they win. Why do they win? Because they take the time to understand the odds. The odds of this relationship actually working. The odds of this relationship actually failing. The odds of the relationship not actually succeeding. They play out several different scenarios. Sort of like we talked about when the episode started, right? Then we talked about how there's different scenarios of where cards came from. Think about this. That's what casinos do. This is what we do. We walk into a relationship, we walk in with one scenario in mind. This relationship is going to work because, see, this person right here, it checks off every single box that I have. Every single box. They say the right things at the dinner table. They tell you everything you want to hear. They got the right look, the right type of hair, right type of nails. They drive the right type of car, make you feel all good inside. Make you feel good. Make you feel so good that you're willing to lay your heart on the table. Even though you should probably protect it, save that heart as the last card that you deal. That's the first one you're throwing out there. You're not throwing out the ace. You're not throwing out the spade. You're not throwing out the king, the queen. You ain't throwing out the jack. You're not throwing out the diamond. You want to throw that heart out there. Throw that right on the table. Bam. First card throw out. Then they trump that card. They step on it. They defeat it. Next card you're throwing out is the spade. That's the card you live with. That black heart. Cold. Cold. And following that spade, keep that club close by. Keep that club close by. As a protector. As a reminder that if anyone tries to come close, to change the color of your cold heart, that you will clobber it. That you will destroy it. These are the games you play. Because you never give yourself time to truly heal, do we, people? We'll talk about this in a further episode. My wife told me this, we should do another episode on wounds. I'm going to touch on it slightly right now. Touch on it slightly. We don't recover from wounds, do we? We keep our club close, we keep our black heart close, because we feel like that's the way of truly protecting us against ever being hurt. That diamond that we were so pursuing seems so far away, so distant, that we don't look for it anymore. That king or queen don't seem like a reality no more. So what do? We start selling for the two cards that are rarely used in any card game. Why are they even put in the deck of cards anyway? Think about it. Why are these two cards put in the deck of cards? There are 52 deck of cards. Why do we add these two cards that are normally thrown to the side, but often come up in our lives, and often the most used card, the most relied on card? That goddamn Joker. That goddamn Joker. Don't we always fall back to that Joker? When our heart gets cold, it gets hard, we pull out our club, we put our defenses up against that king and queen. We fight against them king and queens, don't we? We battle them. We battle against them giving their heart to us, to giving us that elusive diamond. And we always settle for that goddamn Joker. I told y'all, you people, this is not entanglement, but you get into entanglement with this damn Joker. And then you wonder why you ain't happy, why you ain't peace. You falling for the card that was thrown away. Why? Why are you reaching for that card? That card is not playing in blackjack, poker, pay pat. But you know where it is? The most strongest card at? This may be a kid's game. Maybe you never heard of it. Maybe you never played it. You ever played I Declare War? Oh, yeah, remember that game? I remember that. That was one of my favorite games. Besides blackjack, I Declare War. You don't know I Declare War, Ace is the highest card. Not the King, Queen, Ace is. The highest card. You know the highest card out of all the cards is an Ace of Spade. It's the highest card in I Declare War. But do you know the only thing that's higher than an Ace of Spade in I Declare War? I bet you don't know this. That wild card. That one card you throw away. Or should I say two, because they come in a pack of two. Small Joker, big Joker. That Joker is the highest card in I Declare War. And guess what a lot of us do in relationships? We don't play poker. Even though it's a deceptive game. Even though it's a mind game that we got to play with each other to try to fill each other out. We don't play blackjack, which is a game of faith, or pity pat, which is another game of faith. We don't play spades because that's a game of finding the right partner that you are cohesive with, that you can work and have good chemistry with. We love to play I Declare War, don't we? Where the biggest, sharpest card is that goddamn Joker. And we keep throwing it out there because that Joker trumps everything, don't it, people? Woo, we love that Joker. We love playing I Declare War with love, don't we? The one game we can't win, because even when you win, you lose. There's no winning in I Declare War. The purpose of that game is to take everybody else's cards, to take everybody else's kings, their queens, their diamonds, their hearts, their spades. The purpose is to have every single card at the end. But what are you left with? A whole lot of baggage and no love, no happiness. Because see, you're taking all of the bad and good and you're just combining it all in one. You're declaring war. You're declaring war on love. You're declaring war on peace, war on joy. And you're using the worst possible card in the deck, the card that gets thrown away the most. And why does it get thrown away the most? Because guess what, people? It's a joker. And haven't we all dated a joker in our lives? Don't sit here and play like you don't. Don't act like you don't. I see how you looking at me like, I ain't never had no joker. You know, I married my high school sweetheart. The first person I kissed, the first person I dated, that was the person I felt, no, don't even play it. In the first grade, you was up there dating little Bobby Billy or something like that. Or that little girl Michelle. You dated them jokers before in your life. You had your heart broken one time in your life. We all had that one person that we tried to deny. You know, when we sitting out at dinner or at drinks with our friends and stuff, and they bring up, remember you used to date that girl, Lisa? Nah, man, I ain't never dated Lisa. I don't know nobody by the name Lisa. I don't even speak the name Lisa no more, because you know Lisa was a joker. Or that dude, Tom, that didn't have a car, that when you went to dinner, you had to catch the bus, you had a meeting there. Tom used to be like, yo, we're going Dutch on our dinner, meaning you pay half, I pay half. Tom, like, if Tom paying, you can't drink no soda. No, you gotta drink water with a lemon. But act like it's lemon juice. They got sugar over there. You remember Tom, that joker? You remember Tom used to live in your house, watch ESPN all day, sitting there eating your kids' cereal? You know who you dated. You know that joker. Don't act like it. Don't act like it. I told y'all people, we all been caught up in an entanglement before with that joker. Yeah, we all had that relationship. What Will Smith say? That ain't no entanglement. That was a relationship. We had a relationship with that joker. I'm sorry, Jada. Don't be mad at me. I'm apologize. I'm getting last at your expense. I'm so sorry. The point is, we declare war on love. And we use that joker to trump all the other cards. All these other relationships. And we wonder why we're so cold inside. Why the spade means so much. The ace of spade means so much to us. We're so protective of it. Because see, when you're playing I Declare War, for y'all that never played it before, see, you protect the ace of spade. When you got the ace of spade in your hand, you're like, woo! You don't even know what's about to happen to you. You don't know what's about to happen to you. And you sitting there bragging the whole game. You sitting there happy because you the one got it. Because you know somebody got the ace of club. You know somebody got the ace of diamond. You know somebody got the ace of hearts, but you got the ace of spade in you. So you're like, woo! You don't know what's about to happen to you, boy. You sitting there smiling and stuff. You can't do that in poker. That ain't going to work. The point is, because you know at any point, you're going to throw that ace of spade out there. And you're going to give that cold heart to somebody. And you're going to defeat somebody. Because even though they might throw out that king of heart or that queen of heart, and I know you wanted that king of heart. You wanted that king of life. You wanted that queen of life. They might throw that king of diamond out there, that queen of diamond, letting you know, yo, I want that forever type of love. I want that type of love that we live forever. We get old together. We sit here and live and die together. We travel the world together. They throw that card out there, and they really throwing their heart and their spirit out to you. And you sit there like, yeah, I got something for you, boy. I'm going to throw the ace of spade out there. Bam! You drop the ace of spade because that's that key card. That's that game over type card you throw out there. Then somebody else come up to you. They got an even stronger card for you. You thought you had that king. You thought you had the ace. And they drop the joker on. So even though your heart is cold, even though it's shut down, that joker always knows its way in. It knows that CPR to blow breath back in that heart. Just enough breath to breathe back in that heart to open yourself up. To be hurt, not even more, but worse. It's the way of devastating, destroying. Taking that heart, no matter how cold it is, away from you. Never getting it back. And that, my people, that's the house of cards that you're truly living in. But what do we do? How do we fight back against this daggone joker? What do we do, Alan? You talking about this joker, and you just described my whole life because I've been sitting here dealing with these jokers, and every time I throw a heart, a king of heart, a queen of diamonds, I throw it out there because I really want this long-term, forever type relationship. I want that relationship like the old people do, like the 90s songs sing about. I want that relationship. That old school Will Smith and Jada type relationship. That old school Jay-Z and Beyonce type relationship. I want that type of relationship. That Ruby D and Ozzy Davis type relationship. I want that relationships I see in them old movies where they go through all these trials and tribulations, but the man runs up to a woman that she about to get on the plane and she let him know that she loves him. I want that type of relationship. How do I get that type of relationship when every time I throw my heart out there or I throw that diamond out there, somebody clobbers me with that joker? What do I do, Alan? It's a real simple solution, people. It's a real simple solution. First of all, you got to do what everybody do when you go purchase that cheap deck of cards. What is the first thing we do before we start the first game? We remove those jokers out of the deck. A lot of times throw them to the side. Sometimes throw them in the trash. Throw them in the drawer. Because those jokers have no purpose in the game that we're truly trying to play. There's no purpose in this house that we're trying to build. Those jokers have no purpose. So the first thing you got to do is you have to remove those jokers out of your life, out of your memory bank. You have to remove those jokers out of the game. You have to understand, let them jokers know, I ain't here to play with you. You're not part of this. What's the next thing you got to do? What's the next thing? Well, you got to pick the game that you want to play. Now, I told you about the different type of games. I told you about the poker, the pity pad, the spades. I told you about my favorite game, blackjack. Don't try to play me no blackjack. I'm pretty good at that. I also told you about I Declare War. Let's start with poker, okay? Poker, if you win, very big results. You can win millions of dollars in poker. But you got to think about how the game of poker is played. It's a game of deception, not of faith, not of hope. It's deception. It's not about the cards you were dealt. It's about how you play the card. It's about playing the cards to your individual advantage. Meaning you have to deceive the person or the people at the table. Not letting them in on what you truly have in your hand. What's your true intentions. Letting them believe that you have a stronger hand than you want. Think about this in relationship terms. Man walks into a relationship with a rented Lamborghini, rented mansion. He has a cheap knockoff Armani suit. He comes in playing poker with you, ladies. He letting you think that he has all these things that you desire and want. He's bluffing. But when the cards are truly revealed, he driving around in a broke down Toyota with a donut on it, living home with his mom. Not only does he have not a Armani suit, he don't own a suit or a tie. Those nice shoes he had was borrowed from a friend. He ain't even got a pair of Jordans. He got a pair of Reebok Classics. He was playing poker with you. And it works the same way with women. So, after we remove the jokers, you often have to remove the game of poker. Because the game of poker, though it can have big payouts, it's also a game of deception. Let's move on to another game. I Declare War. We talked about how the joker is the biggest card. Ace of Spades, second highest card. There should be no war in love. There should be no war in relationship. Relationships are built on strength, love, joy, happiness. Not fighting with each other, but fighting against others. See, similar to poker, I Declare War is not a team game, it's an individual game. Only one person wins I Declare War. In relationships, it's not about one person winning. It's about you both winning. So we have to remove I Declare War because one, we're not trying to throw out this Ace of Spades because that's not what we're trying to pursue. We're not trying to pursue and bring extra baggage from other people into our lives. The Joker doesn't exist because we already threw that away, so that's not even going to be a priority in this game or an option. So we have to then remove and put I Declare War on the side with that game of poker. So what do we have left, people? We have blackjack, one of my favorite games. Once again, blackjack's a game of hope, faith. But it's also an individual game that you play by yourself. And even though you don't know what cards you're going to dealt, it's a game of not as much of skill, but of chance. Making the right decisions. Interesting. We're getting closer to that, finding that love, but that's not it. So we're going to throw that to the side too. What about a lot of people's favorite? Pity Pat. Very friendly game. Can turn very competitive. Can turn friends into enemies, loved ones into fights. When you put them quarters on the table, playing that Pity Pat, where deuces are wild. Well, that's a good game to play, right? Good game compared to relationships? Nah. Once again, Pity Pat is an individual game. Very competitive. Can turn people against each other. It's about money. It's a fight to get money. So maybe we need to take Pity Pat and we need to throw that to the side of other games. So what are we left with, people? What game are we left with? Spades. I'm not too familiar with spades. I've never learned how to play it. What I do know about spades is it's all about finding and keeping the right partner. Finding and keeping the right partner and playing with the right partner. Having the good chemistry that you know how to work together. That you play together. That you know what's in each other's hand. You know each other's going to make the right decision. Isn't that the type of relationship you want? Someone you can depend on. Someone you can have good chemistry with. It's a game where not individuals win, but teams win. And isn't that what marriage is about? Not your individual win, but a team win? Isn't that the type of house of cards you would like to live in? House of cards where I don't win, but we win? The type of game that we play where we're not playing as individuals, but as partners. So maybe it's a game. The most important part of spades is, guess what, people? There's no jokers. That's right. There's no jokers in spades. So that eliminates that person who looks to waste your time, to take from you, and not give anything to you. The game you should be playing is spades. The point is, people, we all gamble. We all gamble our lives. We gamble relationships. We gamble with our hearts. We gamble with our future. But it's not about gambling or not gambling. It's not about rights and wrong. It's about being strategic. If you're going to play a game, play the right game. Make sure the game doesn't only benefit you, but benefit your partner. Because if you're truly looking for that diamond, that heart, that happily ever after, then you have to understand and know how to get it. Casinos always win. Well, at least most times. Those big buildings, beautiful hotels, comp rooms, they're all built on your losses. But why don't you build your own house of cards? That's just as stable as those casinos, just as big as those casinos. Where you have those warm pools, those bars, comfortable rooms, great shows, where you can share it with a loved one, that you can find happiness and peace. True tarot cards can tell you your future. But the truth is, no one really knows our future. I know we have prophets out there and we have different people who can read spirits. Truth is, the future lies in you, in the decisions you make. Because the decisions you make today are a direct effect and a reflection of what your future truly is. So if you're not playing the right game, chances are you're dealing and leading down the wrong road. If you're entertaining and keeping jokers in the game, then you'll end up holding the last card, being a joker. And you'll end up with all the cards of the deck in your hand. That's right, 54 cards. And though they're made up of kings, queens, and diamonds, they're also made up of hearts, of loved ones, as well as broken hearts, and a lot of clubs that was used to clobber and hurt people along the way. The point is, people, it's time to build a house of cards made up of love, happiness, passion, joy. And clubs should only be used to protect that love, peace, and joy. It's not made, created to be held in, but to be shared with others. So if you're going to play a game, play the right game. Play a game where you find the right partner, where you'll share chemistry, love, happiness, and peace. I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Past and Present Podcast. Remember, like, comment, share my video. Hit me up, Facebook, Past Present, Instagram, Alan the Great. If you have an issue with gambling, you can call the number on the screen to get assistance to help you if you or someone you know dealing with gambling. Gambling can be a very deadly and hurtful disease. You don't have to deal with it and face it alone. But until next time I see you people, I only got one thing left to say to you. Stay tuned.